In this video, we are going to cover differentiation of parametric function, mean value theorems, and second order derivatives. In mean value theorem, Rawls theorem and Lagrange's theorem. First topic, differentiation of parametric functions. Now we should know the meaning of parametric function. If any function is given, generally we can divide in two categories: explicit function or implicit function. Explicit function means if two variables x and y given, we are able to write x as a function of y and y as a function of x, then we can say functions are explicit function. Second case, if it is not possible to write x as a function of y or y as a function of x, then it is known as implicit function. Now third situation arises. There is no direct relationship between x and y. Both x and y are related with a third variable, and with the help of third variable we are going to establish relationship between given two variables. Third variable whatever given, that is known as parameter. In such a situation we write dy by dx are differentiation with the help of third variable, means dy by dx equal to, in chain rule already you have covered, dy by dt into dt by dx. If y is a function of t and x is also a function of t, then dy by dx we can write as dy by dt upon dx by dt. For example, y is a function of t. Let y equal to a sin t. X is also a function of t, and assume as x equal to a in bracket cos t plus log tan t by 2. And our task, we want to find value of dy by dx. Now directly dy by dx is not possible to find, but since both are function of t, dy by dx we can write as dy by dt upon dx by dt. Step by step we have to differentiate it. First, find out dy by dt. Since y is a function of t, then that is differentiate it. So dy by dt equal to a differentiation of sin t, and differentiation of sin t is cos t. Therefore, dy by dt equal to a cos t, that is equation first. Now next, x equal to a cos t plus log tan t by 2. Therefore, dx by dt we can write as ddt of a cos t plus log tan t by 2. A is constant taken outside. Ddt upon cos t plus a ddt of log tan t by 2. Now differentiation of tan is minus sin t, taken a common, and then differentiation of log tan t by 2. Differentiation of log is just apply chain rule. So differentiation of log is 1 upon variable, and here variable means whole tan t by 2. 1 upon tan t by 2. Then differentiation of tan is sec square, means sec square t by 2. Then differentiation of t by 2 means 1 by 2. Just further simplify, minus sin t plus tan t, we can 1 upon tan t write down as cot t or cos t upon cos t by 2 upon sin t by 2 into 1 upon cos square t by 2 into 1 upon 2. Further simplify, you will get 1 upon 2 sin t by 2 cos t by 2. Next step, equal to minus sin t plus 1 upon sin t. By taking LCM, you will get a minus sin square t plus 1 upon sin t, or you can write 1 minus sin square t is cos square t upon sin t. Therefore, dy by dx equal to dy by dt upon dx by dt. That by putting value of dy by dt and dx by dt, you will get tan t, and hence we are able to find the value of dy by dx. Now second topic, successive differentiation. If any function is given y equal to fx, if we find first order derivative means dy by dx, it is known as first order derivative, and which we can write as f dash x. The dy by dx is written as f dash x, and which also we can write as y1. Y in suffix 1, it implies first derivative. While also other notation of first derivative is y dash or only dy. All these are notation of first order derivative. Now in second order derivative, if we differentiate dy by dx, then it is known as second order derivative. Means write as d2y by dx square. So d2y by dx square equal to ddx of dy by dx, or f double dash x, second notation, or third y2 also represent as second derivative, or y double dash, or d2y. Similarly, third order derivative means differentiate whatever result you are getting in second derivative once more, then it is known as third order derivative when divided by d3y by dx cube. Whenever you are writing second order derivative or third order derivative, read as d3y upon dx cube. ddx of differentiation of second order derivative, whatever result you are getting. Write as f 3 times dash into x, or y3, or y triple dash, or d3y. All these represent same meaning, third derivative. Here second derivative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 symbols are for same thing. Now for example, y equal to x power 5 plus 7x cube minus 4x square plus 3. We want to find dy by dx. The dy by dx equal to 5 into x power 4 plus 7 into 3 into x square minus 4 differentiation of x square is 2x plus 3. So result you will get 5x power 4 plus 21x square minus 8x. Now once more again differentiate it with respect to x, that is known as second order derivative, ddx of dy by dx. In place of dy by dx put the function. It implies first derivative is a function of x, and second derivative again it is a function of x. So second derivative ddx of dy by dx, differentiate it, you will get 20x cube plus 42x minus 8. In this pattern you can write third order derivative d3y by dx cube equal to ddx of d2y by dx square, and again differentiate it. So 20 into 3, 60x square plus 42. In this pattern also you can write fourth order derivative, and fourth order derivative you will get 120x. Similarly, fifth order derivative or to nth order derivative we can write, and it is known as successive differentiation. First time we are going to differentiate, again second order derivative, then third order derivative. After one you are going to differentiate again, it is known as successive differentiation. Now third and important topic, mean value theorems, in which first one Lagrange's theorem, or it is also known as Lagrange's mean value theorem. If any function is given fx, so whenever required Lagrange's mean value theorem, we concentrate on function and you have to check some property of function in particular. If any function fx is given, it is continuous in closed interval AB from x equal to a to x equal to b. Curve of this function is continuous and it is differentiable in open interval AB. Differentiable means at each and every point from x equal to a to x equal to b, there exists a tangent. There is no corner point between a and b. Then you can say function is differentiable. If there is no break in the function, means continuous. Differentiable means there is no corner point. Then we can say there exists at least one value c, real number c, in between a and b such that f dash c equal to fb minus fa upon b minus c. Now the meaning of f dash c, you can concentrate again in figure. Curve of function is y equal to x is drawn here. Now I want to check applicability of theorem from x equal to a to x equal to. Then at x equal to a, coordinate of this point is a comma fa, and x equal to b, coordinates of this point is b comma f. Then slope of line, easily you can write slope of line, you know formula y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So slope of line is y2 minus y1 means fb minus fa upon b minus c. That is means slope of line or slope of line segment passing through these 2 points. There exists at least one point between a and b such that slope of tangent is parallel to line passes through these 2 points, and slope of tangent at any point known as derivative of the function at that point and denoted by f dash c. Therefore you can write f dash c represents slope of tangent of the curve at x equal to c, which is parallel to the line segment passing through these 2 points. Means on geometrical representation you can write there exists at least one point on the curve at which tangent is parallel to the line segment joining these 2 points. If tangent is parallel to the line segment joining these 2 points, means slope of tangent at that point is equal to slope of line segment, and slope of tangent means derivative, that is denoted by f dash c equal to fb minus fa upon b minus b. That is known as Lagrange's theorem. So if we want to check Lagrange's theorem, first given condition, function is continuous in closed interval, differentiable in open interval. Then there exists at least one point c in open interval such that f dash c equal to fb minus fa upon b minus c. Then we can see Lagrange's theorem is applicable in the given interval. Now next, one example on this. Fx equal to 2x minus x square given, and interval is given 0, 1. Just Lagrange's theorem I want to check here. For Lagrange's theorem, step first, function should be continuous and it is a polynomial function. Polynomial function is continuous for all real number. Or also you can say, since function is defined in the given interval 0 to 1 for all x belongs to, means for all real number, therefore you can say it is continuous. Here you will not check it, take a point and find out left hand limit, right hand limit. That is not required. Directly, if function is defined in the given interval, means it is continuous. And for differentiability, find out f dash x, 2 minus 2x. And if derivative is defined in open interval 0 to 1, then you can say given function fx is differentiable in open interval 0 to 1. In this example, it is continuous, differentiable. Then third case, there exists a point c in interval 0 to 1 such that f dash c equal to fb minus fa upon b minus c. Here fb means b equal to 1 and a equal to 0. Just put the value f dash c. f dash x equal to 2 minus 2x, f dash c equal to 2 minus 2c, equal to, in denominator 1 minus 0 means 1, and numerator put the value of f1 and f0 after solving 1. Therefore c equal to 1 by 2, which belongs in the open interval 0 to 1. Hence Lagrange's theorem is verified. Lagrange's theorem is also known as Lagrange's mean value theorem. Now next is Rolle's theorem. Rolle's theorem means a particular case, specific case of Lagrange's theorem. Why it is known as specific case? Because easily you can observe here. Again, first condition is same as Lagrange's theorem. Function is continuous in closed interval. It is differentiable in open interval. And third, fb equal to fa. Fb means height of curve at x equal to a is same as height of curve at x equal to b from x-axis. Then there exists at least one real number c such that f dash c equal to 0. If you apply here Lagrange's theorem, also you can write f dash c equal to fb minus fa upon b minus a. Or since fb equal to fa, therefore fb minus fa means 0. Hence you will get f dash c equal to 0. Now geometrical meaning, it implies if fa equal to fb, then you can see there exists at least one point on the curve such that slope of tangent, or you can say tangent, is parallel to x-axis, therefore slope of tangent equal to 0, and that is written here. Now for example, let fx equal to x square plus x minus 6. We want to check Rolle's theorem in the interval minus 3 to 2. Since function is defined in closed interval minus 3 to 2 for all real x belongs R. Defined means we can find the value of fx for any real number x in given interval minus 3 to 2. Therefore function is continuous. Find out f dash x, which is equal to 2x plus 1. Since f dash x is also defined in open interval minus 3 to 2, therefore given function fx is differentiable in open interval minus 3 to 2. And third, find out the value of f minus 3. In place of x put minus 3. Minus 3 square, 9, minus 3 minus 6, 9 minus 9, 0. Find the value of f2. 2 square 4 plus 2 6 minus 6 0. If fb equal to fa means f minus 3 equal to f2, then there exists a real number c in open interval such that f dash c equal to 0, means 2c plus 1 equal to 0, because f dash x equal to 2x plus 1, f dash c equal to 2c plus 1 equal to 0, and c equal to minus 1 by 2, which belongs in open interval minus 3 to 2. Hence Rolle's theorem is verified. Now next one solve question. If y equal to log x plus under root x square plus 1, then we have to prove x square plus 1 y2 plus xy1 equal to 0. Here y2 means second derivative, means d2y by dx square, and y1 means dy by dx. Now solution. First step, find out first derivative, differentiate with respect to x. You will get dy by dx equal to differentiation of log x plus under root x square plus 1, and differentiation of log is 1 upon x plus under root x square plus 1 into differentiation of this whole bracket. Next step, 1 upon x plus under root x square plus 1 into differentiation of x is 1 plus differentiation of under root x square plus 1 is 1 upon 2 root x square plus 1 into differentiation of x square plus 1 means 2x plus 0. The next step, 1 upon x plus under root x square plus 1 into 1 plus 2 cancel out x upon under root x square plus 1. Hence, by taking LCM, you will get dy by dx equal to 1 upon x plus under root x square plus 1 into x under root x square plus 1 plus x upon root x square plus 1. Here numerator and denominator cancel out. Remaining part dy by dx equal to 1 upon under root x square plus 1. Or cross multiply, you will get under root x square plus 1 into dy by dx equal to 1. Now again differentiate with respect to x. In LHS you have to apply product rule and differentiation of 1 is 0. First function differentiation of second. First function means root x square plus 1 into differentiation of second means ddx of dy by dx. Here second function is dy by dx plus second function dy by dx into differentiation of first differentiation of under root x square plus 1. LHS here under root x square plus 1 into ddx of dy by dx we can write as d2y by dx square means second derivative plus dy by dx, and here differentiation of root x square plus 1 is 1 upon 2 root x square plus 1 into 2x. Next step, first term as it is same plus dy by dx into x upon under root x square plus 1. Multiply by under root x square plus 1, you will get root x square plus 1 into root x square plus 1 means x square plus 1 second derivative plus x dy by dx equal to 0, or x square plus 1 into y2 that is second derivative plus xy1 equal to 0. In this process any question given on successive differentiation, Rawls theorem or Lagrange's theorem you can solve. Now some questions for practice. First question, you have to verify Rawls theorem. If fx equal to x cube minus 4x, given interval is minus 2 to 2. And second question, you have to verify Lagrange's theorem. In the interval minus 1 to 4 for function fx equal to x cube plus x square minus 6x. And third question, you have to find dy by dx if x equal to a cos theta plus theta sin theta and y equal to a sin theta minus theta cos theta. Here it is in parametric form given. First you find dy by d theta, dx by d theta, then dy by dx equal to dy by d theta upon dx by d theta. In this pattern you have to solve and give the answer.